morning, everyone. I am Elsie Pace, student in Grand Canyon University, currently in graduate class program under by 501 Foundation Special Education by our professor, Miss Kimber Underdown. So I just want to share to you about professional disposition survey. So I will start from the very first one question. Okay. So I will tackle today about professional disposition and survey. So we have to do first in teacher rule as a special education. The question here, number one, I will read the number one question. What is the special education teacher rule and supporting learning, improving, planning, practice, upholding professional expectation and ethics, and collaboratively advancing the profession? Okay, teacher rule in special education is very important. That's the primary rule of a special education teacher is to work with the students who has learning, mental, emotional, physical disabilities. So special education teachers is about a general education lessons. You're gonna teach various of subject. It's not like the regular teacher. They can just like teach science for the whole day or something like that. But the general teacher in special education, you tackle all different subjects. So you teach various subjects of the students, even the mild, moderate, and also in severe profound disabilities. And also you teach a basic skill. So that's why they have a life skill. Like a basic skill, they know how to brush their teeth, or washing dishes, or folding the clothes, everything. You have just a basic thing. You have to teach the disabilities that they can handle that, especially in my class in severe profound. So a special education teacher often serve as a team leader of the group. You are doing all the scheduling, conducting necessary meetings. The parents or guardians rule to be the student's advocate, with other member providing insight and also providing an advice based on their interaction also with the students. So responsibility for working with the child. As a general teacher, you have to implement the IEP. So he or she may work with a child in a resource room or special class devoted to children receiving special education services. So you have the team teach with a child regularly. Education teacher may working with you in severe profound needs or in moderate. While every child has a unique individualized disabilities in educational act, and we know we break disabilities into 13 categories, so you have to expect one of it is your student at your class. That's why you have to handle that with care. So as a teacher in special ed is very crucial. It's very important. You are the second mother of the child. So you embed the life values, culture, the knowledge, the ethics, and the child who is the process becoming responsible person in the society. So you make him the difference. You make him a differentiate, that's the word, that they can choose what is wrong and what is correct. So for him and his family to do good for the society. And also as a teacher, we need to show kindness to our students with love, with compassion. I love that saying says, kindness make the world go around. In biblical application, whatever you sow, you shall reap. So all of us will pass this world at once. Every good thing that we can do, we have to do it right now, especially in our profession, especially in our job. So our fundamental rule is to help them developing their abilities. Work with the children who have variety of uniqueness, talents, individual differences that make it more difficult for them to learn and assessed in general classroom. So we need to find and indicate the good teachers. We need to understand the need. We need to be easygoing, able to develop a rapport with learners. We need to be devoted, committed for our student. And we also approachable, interested in learners' needs, and always conscious of their status as a role models. So everyone who remember you when you do this good thing, it's not the method, it's not the technique, but teachers affect eternity. He can never tell where influence stops. They may forget what you said, but they will not forget that you made them forget how you made them feel good. So all students can learn and succeed, but not the same way and not the same day. So as a teachers, the all teacher around the globe, you have a huge rule that you have to hold on it. Supporting learners. Our job is to counsel students as they grow and matured, helping them to integrate their social, emotional, intellectual growth, provide resources and instructional strategies that give the student the physical and social, emotional, and intellectual support needed to learn. So there's a lot of academics and thing that supporting them too. Break the learning task into a small step. So we have a small group, we have a big group, we have some 5 groups. Prove regularly to check understanding. Provide also a quality feedback. You have to present also to them visually and verbally. That's why we're using visualize a thing, especially for some students that they need have routine every day. So everything is visualized. And use diagrams. You can use graphics. You can use pictures for your instructions. Also, you can provide independent practice. So model what you want the students to do. You can do more for your student growth. Example, learning support from teacher's aid. Your teacher's aid can teach them one-on-one or use how to use laptop or computer or this kind of experiment, having extra time to complete their tasks, to complete their work. So, and the question here also has improving and planning. Okay, improving. A role as a teacher, improving planning and practice. You have to develop individualized education program. So that's the IEP. For each student, they have a plan of activities that are specific to students' disabilities and for students with abilities. You have to teach and mentor students as a class in a small group, one-on-one, implement IEPs, assist students' performance. You have to track their progress. You have, on the start of the school, you have your own goal. You have objectives individually. So you have also a long and short goals for every student. So you have to track that to the process in your planning. And next here on the question number 1, upholding professional expectation and ethics. Well, about this, maintaining a professional expectation of ethics for special education teacher are required to follow, and I know this is a strict code of ethics, which include upholding confidentiality. So, confidentiality, standing up for the right of their children, fostering and welcome and safe learning environment as well. So their documents is, it will not show to everybody. That's only for very confidentiality. Demonstrate also the commitment to learning and diversity. Build rapport and serve as a strong model to peers. So means to say, display an effective communication and skill. That's what we call the oral and written in all settings. You have to demonstrate professional competence and conduct. So you have to prove for professionalism. The ethical standard is very essential. Skill to be a good special education teacher. What is that? It's honesty and resources, fostering the environment of mutual learning and professional growth. It design lessons and observe one another teaching in order for a better understanding how the student learn and to improve the instructions. Now, as a special educator teacher, you are responsible of every student on your caseload. So this include the responsibility to implement the accommodation, to modify for the student, as well as the responsibility to ensure the achievement of the student goals. So the goal is made easier through special education by using collaboration. So professional, as a professional, you need to have also a collaboration. Okay, number 2 question here. What disposition that you currently possess will help you become a successful teacher? Okay, I will just answer the first one here. Okay, before that, I will explain first the disposition. Professional disposition are a vital element of a teacher. Preparation and expected behavior of all educators. The very easy to understand. This is like, okay, about disposition. Disposition is their mood of general attitude about life. Like me, I woke up in the morning with the wrong side of bed. Tell me that I might need a disposition makeover. Okay, disposition means the positive or negative way a person views the world. So as professional disposition, it includes the values, commitment, ethics, influence, behavior towards students, the families, the colleagues, and communities affect the student learning. So motivation and development as well as educator in our own professional growth and professional maturity. So the question here, what disposition you currently possess? Okay. Currently, this is my first year of teaching in Super Profound, so it's really fitting in here. Currently possessed for me is a good and positive attitude. Why positive attitude? Naturally, it's tendencies of or inclinations such as being cheerful, being friendly, or in a good mood. Often since a person also use as mood or outlook, like attitude refers to a person's feeling, something that can influence their behavior. Okay, that's much better. I have a book that I read before about parenting, I think. If mama ain't happy, ain't nobody happy. You know, mother's attitude affect everyone in the family. That's why if mom is not happy, everyone is not happy. Because when you try to cook a food and you're not happy, the food is not really good. But if you're happy and excited, to prepare that, oh, it tasted good, everybody's happy. Mothers often set the tone in the home. So some other version I remember goes, a happy wife is a happy life. So it's something like that. So the same as in the school, same in our school, your good and positive attitude is very important inside the classroom. Oh, I remember one time, somebody texted me and sent me a picture that my son has a bad wreck. So I saw the car is really, I could not even explain the car is bad wreck happened. So they said on the text, we don't know where's your son right now. So I could not control my tears. It's falling my eyes and I'm just like crying. Oh God. And all my students, when I turn back, they are all crying too. It will affect the environment. That's why when you're happy, you're positive that they can do it, you're positive that nothing is impossible, it will reflect the whole classroom. That's why instead of being possessed to become a better teacher, let's try to become a positive and a good teacher. And I will tell you, you become happier teacher. It's anything that we do it better when we're happy with a positive attitude. So for me, the first one I currently possess is positive attitude and a good attitude. You can communicate good when you have a good attitude. You can speak good. You are very careful of the word that you have to use. The clarity of show respect for your students. And teacher also should know how to communicate good when you have a good attitude, effective with your students, even to your parents, even to your principal, or your paraprofessionals, your co-teachers. So it would be good. Even you are collaborating with some professionals with a good attitude. It makes different. You become an open-minded. You become open for any suggestion for the benefits of the betterment for our students. So this kind of disposition helped me, I think, to be a successful teacher this year on my first year of teaching. So to all viewers, good and positive attitude is truly change the environment in the classroom and the school. Wherever you are, it will change the environment. Being good attitude and being good teacher help the student feel welcome. They are feel care. They are feel love. So if you have a good attitude and be a good teacher, everyone will remember you. Everyone who remember his own education, they remember you. It's not your techniques, it's not your methods, it's not your strategy, but the teacher's affects even eternity. That your good and positive attitude, he can never tell where his influence stops. You become an influencers of a good thing. They may forget what you said, but they will not forget how you made them feel good. All students can learn and succeed, but not the same way and the same day. One time there's head of our school before, it's not here but in my country. They said don't say good morning to that co-teacher or something like that, because she did not even respond anything to you. So one time he just like, I'm walking on that lobby, and she was there standing. So I just said, "Good morning, myself." And she laughed at me and say, "Good morning too." So, you can do something different, through your positive attitude. Have an happy and a good positive attitude. Whatever system you subscribe to, there is really something out there greater than us that can put things in order if we have positive and a good attitude, that can make awful things to become wonderful, that can make us do the impossible. It's a source, there's a lot of source of positive and good attitude that's open and available to everyone. Why not use that kind of disposition? Embrace it, tap it. That's one of the fountain of happiness. It's a truly joy with a good and positive attitude. Okay. Next question here on that number 1. Number 2. Not number 1, number 2. I'm sorry. What disposition do you need to work on before entering the classroom as first teacher? Okay. That's good. It's really relate to me. I need to work on before I'm entering the classroom, and it's my first year in Super Profound. I have the 2 things disposition, the empathy and patience. Working with students of varying personalities and abilities can be a challenge, and teacher must be to understand, have a good understanding, must be understanding. Empathy is ability to sincerely say to your child that you are not alone, okay? We are here for you. We can help you. I want you to understand how this feels to you. So responding to that student's your empathy, it's like you take practice but can have huge benefits for them. Empathy refers to putting yourself in someone else's shoes. Like, that's why I want that to work on when I enter that in the classroom, to feel and understand what they need. Because they do something, like, it's so annoying for you. But if you understand and you have empathy, you can feel what they are, what their feelings as well. So they might be going through in their life. When a child is special need, you need to have patience. Your patience is a must. In my super profound class, patient, long patience. Since this type of student takes a longer to perform, even a simple task, even like to put up a shoelace, it's very hard for them. Understanding is a key for development. So, understanding is one of the key for development. So, no matter how long it takes, a special education teacher must give a child time to complete the task. You need to have also having a good sense of humor, It will help also the connection of your relationship with your student. Humor also will help along the way, right? So patience is a skill that can be learned and practiced. That's why I want that. I need to work out of that to be patient and have empathy. Although it can be very hard to stay calm and not lose patience with dealing with behavior, especially when they have tantrums and other difficult or demanding behaviors. Always try to focus on the good. Try to focus on the good things they did. A child's react well positively. That's why your patience view, be positive in your setbacks as part of learning and growing process with your students, and also process as a teacher. Focus on possibilities rather than the obstacles. Okay, number 3 question here is about what effect could personal biases have expectation the teacher have for the student? How could these biases affect the relationship with student and their families? What effect could personal biases have expectation of the teacher have for their students? I think for me is favoritism in the classroom. It seems fundamentally unfair and contributes, for example, favoritism, because she is the daughter of my best friend or something like that. That's why I give more time for her. That I think it's so unfair. The inequalities that affect the student's success and failure. The favoritism can have negative impact on a teacher's reputations. Students who are not favored are likely to develop negative attitude toward the teachers, perhaps also toward the school too. So, that's the biases here for me in the classroom. It will manifest in different ways, such as providing better assignment, extra attentions, only some voices are heard, ignoring poor performance, or even turning a blind eye to misconduct. So the favoritism causes a child to have anger as well too. Behavior problem, loneliness. It will increase also the level of depression, a lack of self-esteem, or a refusal to interact to others. So these issues may appear of the children who were favored by parents and those who were not. It will affect also the families too when they come home. That's why they are so because they're depressed. They're you increasing the level of depression among the kids. In biblical way, I will apply this to show favoritism. You commit sin. You can try to search that. It is a sin because it is contrary to the character of command of God. Because favoritism is a sin, there is no place for it in the heart of God. So, the effect that personal biases have to a teaching learning too takes perspective according to the expectation of the profession. So these biases for me can affect both our personal and professional lives. And we may not even be aware it's happening. So perception bias influence how we perceive people based on their race, based on their gender or age, and much more. Is that, the question is that affect also to, is that affect also to the relationship or to your teaching and learning? Well, the key findings, bias exists in the classroom multiple forms. Most typically, instructor may the instructor may harbor unconscious bias about their students. The students may hold preconceived ideas about their own abilities. So the bias of significantly affects also the test score of the students, the long-term academics development, and should bias by taking into perspective in education. That's why, therefore, we have an imperative that educators need to work to remove such biases from teaching, learning, and even assessment. So what is that? We have to raise awareness of our own biases. Consider our interaction with others. We need to plan inclusive curricula and courses. Access coursework and exam also with caution. Okay, the next here said, the effect that personal biases have teaching learning is talked about, well, as now biases should be taken into perspective according to expectation of the profession. Well, teachers, any educators, you need to be aware of your own biases, expectation of your own profession. Our preconceived notion and opinion can emerge through our language choices, teaching method, grading practices, accessibility practices. It can have a tremendous impact on our student learning connection in the school. So that's why recognizing and understanding our biases is so crucial. Example, I want to elaborate more further, like teacher also often praise for that kid or criticize different than girls, saying good job only for the girls, but for the male student, you can do better to a female. You can just compare that, something like that. So it's a biases too, right? So to prevent the personal biases in our teaching and learning practices. Why? To eliminate the implicit biases in your teaching instruction, you need to allow the students to get to know one another. And you have to exercise any kinds of question and form that you have to do. Avoid fixed mindset or evaluation or media. We have to take information from media or like that. Become aware. How did you address that word to that accordingly? So we need to be careful for that too. How can teacher avoid bias in learning and teaching? For me, have a trusted colleague with you. Come into your classroom to observe you while you are teaching, and they will provide feedback for you. That's much better too. Or ask your student to provide feedback on what they feel included and excluded. So the feedback could be the one of most important steps to uncovering potential and unconscious biases. Okay, I think that's all, and I'm happy that you're watching on my video. God bless. Enjoy life 24/7. Thank you.